Hello everyone, Shadefire here, and welcome back to Let's Play Apsulov, End of Gods. This is episode 5. So last time, Henrik tasked us with going back into Niflheim and collecting another one of the Apsulov keys after we went and dropped off the first one in the Apsulov statue. So now we're just trying to make our way down to another root of Yggdrasil in order to get back into Niflheim in a different spot. We also got to blast a whole lot of folks with our Yarngraper arm weapon last time. Alright, so let's see, where are we going? I can't remember. I guess, yeah, we saved and then went back a little bit. Philip continues to be in agony.
No, don't!
That was the fellow we heard from previously who had his flesh flayed off after drinking the blood coming out of the root of Yggdrasil. Sounds like he's still having a pretty bad time. Alright, so I think we're almost there. I mean, we've gone pretty far from the main room. Alright, yep, we've got ice. That's a pretty good sign that we're near Niflheim. And here we go. Back into the icy hell that we are still very inappropriately dressed for. But we'll just assume that Alice is Swedish and thus has a little bit of ice resistance in her blood, as a Nord.
Dr. Lisa Svensson, day 89 of the N527 excavations. During the expansion of N527, several remains of the natives were uncovered. This was the first time any of us could get close to any of these violent and immense creatures. Analysis of the ice surrounding the remains proves that they have been here for well over 400,000 years. This means that they existed even before the woolly mammoth. What is even more fascinating is that they seem to have changed very little within the last hundreds of thousands of years. Like evolution is on a standstill in this world. We didn't expect this, and we have to conduct research around these remains. I would like properly educated staff to be added to our ranks so we can uncover the history of these violent creatures. Dr. Lisa Svensson, N527.
So we've just got a dead frost giant here that, I guess when they die, they just fall over and the ice covers them up. But she says that they've only been here for 400,000 years, so they're a fair bit younger than the Earth. Now, we did have a few run-ins with the frost giants when we were first here. I did get frozen a couple times by one of them. But, as you can imagine, we're gonna have to deal with them again. They do seem to have set up quite a extensive amount of facility here in Niflheim between here and the last place we went. Now we can see one of these bastards up close. I don't really know what's going on with the nose there. It seems like it's a little broken up. And there doesn't actually appear to be a throat, but I like that they've just got pipes running right into it. Got another one up there. Got some pretty uncomfortable looking mouths. And you have to wonder what they eat here in Niflheim. Apparently I just hit the call elevator button, that's why nothing happened. But it seems like these realms are not necessarily, you know, tied to the natural order of things. It's not like there's a fully fledged ecosystem here. I guess that does somewhat tie into the mysticism aspect. Maybe the frost giants are just powered by frost and cold. Now we do have our level 4 clearance. Yeah, we have level 4 and then we have level 7. So we should be alright for most of the places here. Oop. Another energy cell. So does that give us 10 now? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, looks like we have 10. So we can do 2 blasts now when we're fully charged. Meaning I don't have to pop a battery quite so often. Oh, I'm near something. I believe it's below us, or in the next room. There's nothing actually in here in the bathroom. I mean, they've got a cozy little antechamber here, though it's probably pretty fucking cold in here too, considering there's frost inside. I don't know why I'm checking these. Well, corpses, we don't get to see those very often, considering most of them are still running around. Though, as you can see, they have the same kind of monstrous faces as all the people that are still running around.
Dr. Brian Roberts, Niflheim Operations Supervisor. Progress report on Niflheim Outpost N527. Our latest addition to the N527 management, in the form of Dr. Lisa Svensson, has been very challenging. On arrival, she exhibited clear signs of depression, which had a major impact on staff morale and became a safety concern. I found out that she was involved in some form of accident, but I can find no records of such an accident. I believe she is telling the truth. In the future, I, the supervisor of Niflheim operations, can't be kept in the dark about such matters. However, after the uncovering of the native remains, Dr. Svensson has resumed her work within management and is starting to become a major asset to N527. Please disregard all prior transfer requests of Dr. Lisa Svensson from the N527 outpost.
You can't just not tell me when you send me someone depressed. It's an inconvenience to our workflow. Okay, that thing I was hearing should be up here. That's locked. So we're gonna need to pop it open. Or miss completely. I haven't done this in like 2 weeks or so since the last episode, so my timing is gonna be a little off.
Was of better use at Outpost N527, and I've spent a week in this freaking icebox. I miss my family. It wasn't even my fault. I told them the artifacts were dangerous. Poor Josephine.
I told them the artifacts were dangerous. They didn't listen to me when it killed them. And so they sent me away to another realm. Alright, so we can go that way, which I believe is the way to go. There's a lot of rooms in this not particularly large area. But let's head down here first. I think there's one more antechamber type room. We still have no idea where this key is. They didn't really give us much of a hint aside from, it's in Niflheim. Yeah. I'd say on top of Beacon of Light, so that would make us assume we need to go up. Alright, let's try to pop this one open easier. You notice that one was going counterclockwise instead of clockwise. Or do they always go counterclockwise? I guess they always do. I don't know why I was thinking they go clockwise. And there's nothing in here but 2 batteries. Probably a good thing I didn't use my batteries to get in here. Okay, so I think we can get out of here now. could go back and recharge, since I believe there was a charge when we got in here, right? Down there, but we won't worry about it. We got plenty of backup battery. And like they mentioned before, you can kind of hear the frost giants no matter where you are in Niflheim. Off in the distance. Make sure to save at every orb we see. You never know when we might die horrendously. Alright, now we're outside. And that looks like a beacon of light. Frost giant rising up in front of it, as well as another one off to the side. Hold on. I'm picking up a reading. Apparently there was a corpse under there. Well, it's still wiggling. It's really weird that you can even see that. But yeah, it sounds like somebody's just buried under the ice. And right there is a sleeping frost giant. Because I guess also when they sleep, they just fall over and sleep. I can't imagine they lead very exciting lives in this place. There's a collectible over there. Like this is the kind of place they would stick one. Like, oh, you're not gonna get close to the frost giant, are you? Nope. I don't think we can wake him. I do think the frost giant design in this is neat. They're not like super creepy or anything, but it's a good mix of kind of like, I don't know, normal and kind of monstrous. How he detected us down here. Maybe they can feel the vibrations. Alright, we've got a ways to go to get to the beacon of light. But thankfully, this place is ringed with tunnels that make it easier to sneak around. I don't know what this is. Arch. Kind of looks like a portal of some variety. I don't really get any context for it. We're back in the danger zone. I do think this area looks good, as long as you don't look at anything too close up. Like, I think because it's slightly better lit, some of the, like, Unreal Engine type stuff becomes more apparent. They've got quite the snouts on them. Alright, well, since he's totally passed out, let's just walk across his arm. I'm sure he won't notice. He's literally just like sleeping in a crevasse. You can see he's got his leg up over there. Probably his other one sprawled out over here. They don't seem to have fingernails. I guess they're just like solid ice flesh. Guess they don't really need nails of any variety when they can just freeze things with their eyes. Another gateway. So not necessarily a portal, but just a remnant of old architecture. Perhaps that's why the Apsulov key is here, because it was actually placed here. Alright, we have to do a little bit of don't get frozen stealth right here. Because this guy has been alerted. These are probably other people that have been sent to look for the Apsulov key. After all, Henrik did say that we weren't the first. And somebody did find those other keys before us. So stealth here isn't too difficult because obviously he's not mobile, he's just kind of looking up and down. So we only need to worry when he's looking on our floor. Make a break for it, now that we're slightly above where his head is. I like how there's just two of them, just sitting on opposite sides of this mountain, just kind of staring. They don't really want to get up or anything. 'Cause if he wanted to, he could pluck us right off of here. I think we can get through this section without getting frozen, unlike last time. And here it is, just sitting out in the open. I guess the frost giants don't have much interest in it. But they also don't seem happy that we have it. Rescued by Wolf Boy. Well, they did say that he was very protective of us when we were unconscious, so now he's literally rescued us. Our fellow horrible experimental creation. Alright. we got another key of Apsulov, and that means we gotta put it into the tablet.
Henrik? Sarah? Can you hear me?
Timing is a little bit bad. Do you have the key?
I got it, but I have to tell you
Just
that...
insert the artifact key into the tablet and hurry back here. There's something we want to show you.
They don't even care how excited Alice is about what she discovered. I'm actually not sure what she wanted to tell him about, unless it was the wolf. Well, that was a pretty smooth trip. I didn't die, I didn't get frozen, so I'd say things are going well for us.
Mythology research, note 2. Me and Henrik delved into the carvings and historical material recovered from Asgard. It depicts a lot of the events that we have represented in the book The Younger Edda, but some written stories seem to be minor versions of the true events. Something that really catches my attention is the final story of the trickster Loki. The story depicts a prank where Loki has the blind Hoder fling a spear against the immortal Baldur. The blind brother didn't know that the spear was tipped with mistletoe and accidentally ended the life of Baldur. The real aftermath of this prank is very different in comparison to the ones in the Edda.
Cool prank, bro.
Apparently, the vengeful gods went on a killing spree, ending the sons and daughter of Loki, only to eventually have him imprisoned forever. These stories keep getting worse and worse.
Loki, huh? Alright, so we've got 2 slots left, which means we only need 1 more key in order to complete the tablet. So, short game after all, huh? Alright, now let's go talk to Henrik.
Floor 2, Apsulov research.
We also have the ability to access floor 3, now that we have level 4 clearance.
Floor 3, Apsulov research.
Which is an area you can't get to otherwise. Unlike floor 2, which is interchangeable with floor 1. So yeah, I like that there's a good amount of just little extra stuff that opens up as you're doing the main progress. Instead of just like, here's the next place you go, everything else is cut off. It's like, hey, do you want to find some more lore or some more batteries? Here you go. Have at it. And my timing is really bad. Oh. I think I broke it. Well, there's no power, so I guess that's the problem. Problem solved. So whose sword is this supposed to be? I actually don't recognize it. I can't immediately think of a special mystical sword. Because didn't Odin have a spear? It wouldn't be Odin. There are quite a few Norse gods, and quite a few of them had their own weapons, so I'm sure there's one in there. Alright, we got another cell. This also opened a second door. Five batteries in it. What are we at for battery stock? 28. So yeah, we're always kind of hovering between 20 and 30, it seems like. Until we hit one of the sections where we might want to use a lot of them for combat.
The machine. Something entered our world and it's speaking to us from the machines. The conversations among the crew are turning into fanatic gibberish. They're talking about higher beings from beyond the roots, about eternal life and ascension through the knowledge of the spirit in the machine. I fear what might come out of this.
I fear what might come out of this, he says. It's actually one of the only reasonable people here. Yang, of course, is the skeptic we keep hearing from. Who did make it out because he was calling us on the radio at the beginning, so clearly he was already outside the facility.
Great, Apsulov research.
Whether he's still alive now is debatable, based on the sound of conditions out there. But I've said it before, I generally enjoyed the story of this game and how it progresses. So, I like to hear all that extra lore stuff. And I'm sure some of you do as well. Alright, Henrik. Lay it on us. What's our next task?
Shh! Relax. Just relax. There's something I want to show you. Something you need to see.
So Henrik just killed us. It literally made the death sound. And of course that drops us back into the ball sphere. So this was actually the first time I ended up here when I was first playing through this game. So it is meant to be a kind of introduction to this if you haven't died already. But you're gonna tell me she couldn't just crush his arm with her robot arm if she wanted to? I mean, I guess we don't actually know that the Yarn Graper is, super strong. It might just be magical. Where is the other ball? Is. You notice there's no one pursuing us currently. Makes it real easy to get out of here. Way to be a dick, Henrik.
You were right! Tell me, did you see him? Did you see the spirit from the machine?
What the hell did you do?
Don't you see?
You killed me!
You have direct access to the spirit's lair. None of us can reach it but you. You can go there anytime you want. Did you have the Jerngraper with you?
Yes,
You can even bring things with you? Oh, fantastic! I believe that the ether that you just came from is the home of the spirit from the machine. I believe that this spirit is Loki.
Wait a minute, honey. You can't just assume that. We don't know.
You are crazy! I've had enough of this!
No, please listen to me. I'm sorry Henrik did that to you. We knew perfectly fine that it wasn't going to.
I'm sorry that my husband killed you.
Ask you to die for us.
I'm not a test subject. You can't kill me for some damn experiment!
I promise. I'm sorry. Please don't let the world end. Sarah, tell her what you told me before.
Beneath the shadow of Yggdrasil, in the Well of Wisdom, is where the final artifact key can be recovered. In the depth, under the Tree of All Things. But that is not all it holds. On your way to the depth, you should be able to recover another artifact, the Eye of Odin. When you die, you have to find orbs before you can return, correct?
I do.
If you activate the Eye of Odin on those orbs, then you will touch them with divine magic. Then, placing them in the keyholes won't just let you pass back to Midgard. It will let you destroy the ether, with the spirit left inside. We just need to find a route leading to the well.
I know of one.
What?
I'm sorry I didn't tell you, Sarah. Before I got in contact with you again, I found the well. When I did, I thought I could fix all of this. And just like the All-Father Odin, I sacrificed my eye for wisdom.
Oh, Henrik.
It didn't work. The route that leads to the well is underneath us. in the waste treatment plant. Scan my hand, and you'll gain access to it through the elevator.
Unlike Odin, I gave myself another eye when that didn't work out.
That should do it. Head down to the waste treatment plant. It should be a straight path from there. Good luck.
It's once again surprising
Never let the lights go out.
that he only has a level 5 clearance.
You always have the young gaper.
You'd think that as the big boss here, he would have the highest level clearance, but he doesn't. Alright, so, to get our last key, we just need to head to the Tree of Yggdrasil, down the Well of Wisdom, and obtain our key. Now, the bit about finding the Eye of Odin there actually does make sense to me, because that's one random bit that I actually am familiar with, where Odin was forced to, well, not forced to, he was given the option to sacrifice his eye in order to gain wisdom by giving it to Mimir, the Guardian of the Well of Wisdom. But we are actually going to a new world now, instead of Niflheim. Once again, we're going to save here and continue on our trip next time, but I promise that not every episode will end at this particular save point. At least probably one more, though. Anyhow, I've been Shadefire, this is Apsulov, End of Gods, and I hope you're enjoying our journey through the worlds of myth and legend. Till next time, take care, everyone.